If you could place any object on the surface of Mars, purely to confuse NASA scientists, what would it be? Taking notes. Holy shit, it's the real NASA, check the profile. NASA at its core is a bunch of nerds. Did you expect them not to be on here? Anyone working at NASA could be making more money with less stress in the private sector. What I'm saying is, yes, they're nerds. Wonderfully so. Soviet-era spacesuit with a skeleton. With the name tag, Rasputin. Or possibly, Hoffa. D.B. Cooper. It would say Dan Cooper since that's what he actually went by. D.B. Cooper was a reporting error. Fun trivia. I'm sure NASA would know this, is the only reason I bring it up. I think they, like the U.S., just put the family name, so probably just Cooper. A fully crewed, by preserved corpses, skeletons of course, Viking longship. Musical notes were whalers on the moon. Musical notes. We carry a harpoon, but there ain't no whales so we tell tall tales and sing our whaling tune. I love unexpected Futurama. A big map of Earth with several points of interest marked on it. But it's got to be random ass places. E.g. Gary, Indiana is circled 3 times with big stars around it. Gary, Indiana isn't just a random place. That is where the portal to hell will open. Is open. Yay mean is already open. It's open, but the demons took one look and decided not to come through. That design we all drew in middle school. I'm a geologist, and I can confirm that just placing the wrong type of rock would fuck up science for like 30 years. I often pick up rocks that I know only occur in specific areas and leave them somewhere that would be naturally impossible in the hope that it will break a geochemist's mind when they find it. Ha ha! I work at an airport and we have to collect samples of bird strikes on aircraft to send in for identification and tracking to the Smithsonian Ornithology Department. I really want to acquire some emperor penguin feathers for submission just to see what would happen. For reference, I live in the Northeast. I'm 80% sure that a zoo would be willing to give you some spare penguin feathers if you ask. There's always a bunch lying around. Especially if he explains why. I want to give this guy penguin feathers and I've never touched one. A monolith with a QR code to scan and rickroll. Liquid water in a mason jar. Scientists have found evidence of a 2012 barn wedding on Mars. Statue of Liberty half buried in the ground. You maniac! Damn you all to hell. Get your hands off me, you damn dirty ape. He can talk. I can't seeing. A page from a Martian newspaper, pondering the possibility that there might be life on Earth. The Terns have tabled a white plastic lawn chair with a slight chip in one of the legs so they'd be scared to sit down. Except they could sit down, because the gravity of Mars is much less than Earth's. Which means we should send all of our chipped lawn chairs to Mars so that they will become functional again. That makes sense, they're still perfectly usable in the right scenario. I guess OP just didn't understand the gravity of the situation. A whole ass Dollar General. Dollar Generals exist in the most random rural places already that I'd be like, okay, this makes sense. Usually in groups of 2 or 3 in towns with a population of 382. Yeah, they're actually really fucking over local supermarkets because dry goods is where they make their money and people just go to DG for that. Actually, Dollar Generals are providing food in otherwise food deserts. They spring up in places around me that there are no food options short of a tiny gas station junk food. I use mine all the time for those few staple items as it's a mile from my house versus a 15 minutes one-way drive to a grocery store. This is happening in my town currently, but quite frankly it feels justified. The supermarket in my town is usually at a minimum 2x what I could pay at a Walmart. Dollar General is still gouging a little, but everyone is struggling these days and we need to make our dollars stretch. So I can go to the mom and pop and feel good about helping that family while I put mine in the hole, or I can go to DG and have more left over for my family. This is what's so hard about supporting small businesses. I'd love to every chance I get, but money just ain't what it used to be. A picnic basket, blanket, food laid out with a note, honey. I forgot the potato salad. I'll be back in 20 minutes, and for good measure, a 1953 Buick. To complete the scene, footprints that walk away and just disappear about 50 yards away. Matt Damon. Watched this yesterday. Brilliant film. Fuck you, Mars. The book is even better. Yeah, that's usually the case. To be fair to the film, it really got a lot of core things very right. It's why I'm so excited for Project Hail Mary to be made into a film, which is in the works, because that is the very best of Andy Weir's books. The missing pieces of the Rosetta Stone, complete with a fourth as yet unknown language. Or just wingdings. That would do it well. An exact copy of the Mars rover, or whatever they used to discover it. That's actually a great premise for a sci-fi horror movie. The rover rolls up to the Mars base and they're about to let it in when they glance at the monitor and realize the real rover is a mile away. Beep boop, the doppelganger says time to collect samples. Watch the movie Moon, 2009. Sometime if you haven't yet. Dinosaur remains holding a Bible. I mean, of course, a Mars bar wrapper. An Egyptian obelisk, inscribed with mathematics relating to something like a spatial fold engine or warp drive. You could confuse the scientists by developing mathematics related to a spatial fold engine or warp drive. I could, but unfortunately I am not great at the tensor calculus required yet. Just ask ChatGPT to do it for you in TensorFlow. GPT-4. Write some plausible-looking TensorFlow code to describe a space-folding warp engine. Import TensorFlow as TF, import NumPy as NP. Hash constants for the warp engine light_speed equals 299,792,458 hash meter per second warp_factor equals 9.0 warp_speed equals warp_factor. Asterisk light_speed def space_folding_activation x return TF math sin x TF math cosh x plus 1 E7 def warp_field_matrix space_folding_factor warp_matrix equals TF constant 1.0 0.0 0.0 space_folding_factor 0.0 1.0 0.0 0.0 0.0 0.0 1.0 0.0 space_folding_factor 0.0 0.0 1.0 D type equals TF float 32 return warp_matrix def warp_engine space_coordinates warp_factor space_folding_factor equals space_folding_activation warp_factor warp_matrix equals warp_field_matrix space_folding_factor warped_coordinates equals TF Lena LG matmul space_coordinates warp_matrix return warped_coordinates hash define. The input tensor for space coordinates x, y, z, 1 space_coordinates equals TF constant 3.0 4.0 5.0 1.0 D type equals TF float 32 hash calculate the warped coordinates using the warp engine warped_coordinates equals warp_engine space_coordinates warp_factor print initial space coordinates space_coordinates print warped coordinates warped_coordinates. The skeleton of Hitler. I've had it for decades. Why stop there? Leave a fully functional Nazi base in a random cave. Something like these were my first thought too, but I think it would encourage the Neos too much.